entering a dark chapter of German history. These young people from Cambodia are here to learn how Germany has tried to come to terms with its terrible past. The group of 21 young Cambodians are visiting Germany and the Netherlands for 2 weeks. Today they've come to the former Nazi concentration camp at Dachau near Munich. A museum guide explains how the Nazis' killing machine worked.
After they built the crematorium in here, no one outside the camp would know how many people were really murdered in here. This is why
Lita Cheng is a journalist and often writes about her country's violent past and how it affects society today. She's surprised by her visit to Dachau.
Surprising to me is that here is well structured and it doesn't shock when people come here. It's different from the museum I saw in Cambodia, which have the exact picture, which what was happened in the past.
The legacy of the Khmer Rouge is indeed still very evident in Cambodia. The guerrilla movement led by Pol Pot seized power in 1975. Hundreds of thousands of people were driven out of the cities to work on the land as forced laborers. The plan was to turn Cambodia into a communist peasant state. Anyone who resisted was murdered. Many others died of exhaustion or starvation. The regime lasted just 4 years, but some 1.7 million people died in what became known as Cambodia's killing fields.
My mother, she lost all her siblings, 4 siblings, and a mother during the regime. And I asked her, "Mother, how can you continue to live?" And she said, "You have to look ahead, that you have a life today, you have to earn your living." And to me, I'm very sad about this.
Chanlino Pak is a lawyer in Cambodia. He too believes that Cambodians need to address their past. He says trying to ignore one's history is a grave mistake.
I think it's not a good sign for development our country, because if we don't know and what we come from and what happened in the past, so how we can develop our country and moving on.
The young people from Cambodia are fascinated by the information available about the Nazi regime. Everything has been researched and made public. Their visit was financed by the German government. The group leader knows Cambodia well and believes this trip is vital.
In Cambodia, the public debate over the country's past is only just beginning, and there's a widespread sense of helplessness, and not just among politicians. Students, lawyers, social workers, psychologists, they're also starting from scratch. And so we're trying to show them what we've been through and what options are available.
The legal process of calling the perpetrators to account only began 2 years ago. An international tribunal was set up in Phnom Penh. But so far, only Kanguk Eve, or Comrade Duch, has stood trial. He headed a prison where thousands were tortured. He was sentenced to 35 years in jail. Pol Pot himself died back in 1998 and never had to stand trial. The trial of 4 more Khmer Rouge leaders has been repeatedly postponed. There appear to be elements within the Cambodian government opposed to any comprehensive legal investigation.
There are people in government posts who have links with the old Khmer Rouge system. Maybe they were even actively involved. And so they know that the trail could lead investigators even to the senior levels of government. So there are tensions.
The group from Cambodia includes a number of lawyers, so the trip to the International Criminal Court in The Hague is of special interest. They're observing the trial of Jean-Pierre Bemba, former rebel leader and ex-vice president of the Democratic Republic of Congo. He's been charged with crimes against humanity. Prosecutors say his troops perpetrated systematic murder and rape between 2002 and 2003. The group feel encouraged to see a suspected war criminal on trial and inspired to believe the same thing could happen in Cambodia too.
I feel so very proud to be here, and also appreciate the ICC that bring the people, bad people who commit a serious crime, mass crime, and bring to the justice here.
We return to Dachau, where the group learned that many of the Nazis' atrocities have gone unpunished.
The information from the internet.
Very few of the concentration camp guards, for example, were ever brought to trial.
Only 2% of all of those. So this is a fact we don't really like to hear here in Germany.
The Cambodians realize that legal processes alone will not help them come to terms with their past. On their trip to Germany, they have also learned how important it is to keep the memory of past wrongs alive.